Hey everybody, JCB here at the Awesomeness, and you're watching the Awesome List. It's that time of year again, a time of hopes and dreams and rumors and hype, followed almost immediately by super loops and pendulum rides. Every year in the immediate lead up to Six Flags' big announcement video where they discuss all the new rides coming to all their new parks, I create a video like this where I don't make predictions, and I want to stress that these are not predictions. It's more like a wish list. Like if the CEO of Six Flags came to me and said, what would you do with Magic Mountain in the year 2020? I would say, here are my top 10 things Six Flags should do in 2020. Number 10. Designated photo op spots. This is something I really liked at California's Great America that I think Six Flags could easily do. Just send an employee out to find the most photogenic spots at the park, or they could just look at Instagram and see where people are taking selfies the most. You can also create some new points of interest by setting up special decorations or just creating really selfie-worthy spots, and then put like signs up or maybe just a spot on the ground with like a QR code, and then you could have like special frames for the photos that you only unlock by purchasing the photo app and scanning it at all of these different locations. I think it'd be a great way for them to sell more photo passes. This would not only make guests happy because it gives them a cool challenge of like a scavenger hunt where they have to try to find all the special photo frames, but they could also sell more photo passes, and it would get the park free advertising, as people would definitely be sharing these photos all over social media. Number 9. Water bottle refill stations. I saw these at Discovery Kingdom over the summer and it made me very, very happy. It's such a simple concept and yet so perfect. Free water bottle refill stations that fill up your bottle with water that's been filtered and actually tastes good. This would be a win-win-win. The park guests would be happy because they could refill their water bottles for free and not dehydrate and die. The park would be happy because they can talk about how fantastically eco-friendly they are by saving all of these water bottles instead of people just buying more and more plastic. And then of course the vendors would be happy because they're not going to have their lines clogged with people who are just there to try to get free water instead of trying to buy stuff. Number 8. Turn the old Dragon Station into a fancy restaurant. The Dragon Station at Six Flags Magic Mountain hasn't been used in decades. It just sits there in what looks like a big gazebo raised above the crowds, overlooking Jetstream, and will someday have a fantastic view of West Coast racers. It's pretty far from the park's other major restaurant, the Full Throttle Sports Bar, and far enough away from the food court, which is the only other indoor establishment. Yet it's close enough to the fast food type stands that it will still be kind of a place where people go for food. This would make it a great location for kind of an upscale, fancy restaurant. I mean, imagine sitting at a table next to a window, eating your food, and seeing Ninja just fly by on the outside. It could be pretty cool and a great use of this space. Number 7. All-inclusive day passes. This is another thing that California's Great America did that I wish Six Flags offered. When I purchased my tickets to California's Great America, I started looking at the all-inclusive passes and figuring out what we needed. And basically we needed parking and entry to the park, as well as food and drinks for the day, so it seemed like a no-brainer to get the all-inclusive pass, especially since it included the fast pass and the photo pass for the day. Now obviously, me being a season pass holder, this wouldn't really apply to me or help me at all, but for people who are coming in from out of town and they only have one day to spend at Magic Mountain, this could be a lifesaver. This could be the difference between them going on a whole bunch of rides and enjoying it enough to come back next year, or them being stuck in line and not hardly riding anything and deciding it wasn't worth their time. Number 6. Add a motion simulator ride. Discovery Kingdom had one, Disneyland and California Adventure both have one, and Universal Studios is basically nothing but motion simulator rides. These are the big theater rides that sync moving seats to the action on the screen. Think Star Tours at Disney, Mass Effect at California's Great Adventure, what was Pacific Rim at Discovery Kingdom, and almost every single ride at Universal Studios. Magic Mountain doesn't have one of these rides, and I think it's a huge blind spot. I mean, they could be competing with Universal Studios and Disney for these types of rides, and Magic Mountain can make theirs switched out for different themes like Christmas time or Fright Fest or what have you. And I know the perfect place for it. It would be the Grizzly Theater or whatever that thing's called, because that thing sits empty like 90% of the time. And here's my solution. You revamp that into an indoor theater so that 90% of the time it's one of these motion simulator rides, but can be converted to a traditional stage for those days where you have a special event going on, like a Christian rock group or a cheer competition, right? Like the screen would slide out of the way, there'd be a stage behind it, and now the parents get to sit in a nice air-conditioned theater while they watch their kids do their cheer routines or what have you. I think it would be a great way to add new movie tie-ins to the park, add new themed rides, like whenever they decide they want to change it, plus seasonal things like I said, Fright Fest and Christmas. I think it'd be a great addition to the park and something that they can easily change out often to make it more and more interesting every year. Number 5, a water launch coaster. I have no actual hope that this or the next 2 items on my list are ever going to actually happen. But with that said, I saw this concept video earlier this year for a launched water coaster, and I gotta say that it looks pretty awesome. And since Hurricane Harbor hasn't really had a real addition since Bonsai Pipelines, this would be a great way to spruce up our water park while adding another group water ride. I just think it'd be cool. I think we should do it. Number 4, the Mack water coaster. So as I said before, odds of this actually happening are slim and none. But basically the rumor is that Six Flags Dubai is no longer going to be a thing. And so in order to kind of like save a little money and make the best of a bad situation, Six Flags Corporation is taking the rides that were going to be at that park, and they're kind of divvying them up to the other Six Flags parks this year. One of those rides was this Mack water coaster, which I would love to see replace Tidal Wave at Magic Mountain. They've been teasing big changes to this part of Magic Mountain for years, and with the removal of Green Lantern, there would be enough room for something like this if they also got rid of Tidal Wave. Now, of course, the actual rumor is that this Mack water coaster ride is going to Six Flags Over Texas, which I'm fine with. Gives me another reason to visit Six Flags Over Texas again. But if I had the ear of the CEO of Six Flags, I'd be like, hey, dude, put that at Magic Mountain. Number 3, open West Coast Racers. Speaking of impossible, right? New for 2020, Magic Mountain opens West Coast Racers. I'm just kidding. That ride's never gonna open. But it would be nice if it did, you know, considering we're now back down to 18 coasters. Opening West Coast Racers at some point in 2020 would be nice. Maybe December 2020 would be possible. Number 2, add an SNS free spin. While I wouldn't be overly excited about this, I do see it as a good thing. Basically, Green Lantern is a Zack Spin coaster, and it's being taken out of Magic Mountain and probably sent to La Ronde or Six Flags Mexico or somewhere like that. But if they don't replace it, that means West Coast Racers is only going to be our 19th roller coaster, and they made kind of a big deal about it being our 20th coaster. Like, Magic Mountain's finally going to have that big 20 coaster mark. They made kind of a big deal about it. And now, apparently that's not going to be the case anymore. In fact, a lot of people are predicting that Magic Mountain will get one of these big old Star Screamer swing ride things, and that'll be the largest one in the world. But I think buying an SNS free spin and getting it up and running by February is a much safer bet. First of all, it would fit right in the same spot as Green Lantern with a few modifications. You can paint it green and even keep the same ride theming. Second, they install pretty quickly. If they started today, they could probably get an SNS free spin up and running before West Coast Racers were done. I mean, that is, unless of course the Fright Fest rumors for that ride are true, which who knows at this point. I thought the ride would have been open back in like May, but apparently it's just never going to open. Anyway, lastly, these free spin coasters are pretty like well liked. Like, people seem to really like these things. They're just simple, fun, and they don't hurt you like our old dearly departed Zack Spin coaster used to. If I had to make a prediction, it would be an SS free spin. Fast, simple, popular, doesn't overshadow West Coast Racers, gets Magic Mountain to that magic number 20 without breaking the bank. Now it's time for my number 1 pick for what Magic Mountain should do in 2020. Number 1, fuck Viper. Specifically, they should disassemble every single piece of the ride and put it into a giant trash compactor until every piece of track and train is smashed into a cube of steel. Then, they should smelt that cube down into liquid steel and pour it into a mold of a giant piece of poop, so that by the time it cools, we have a giant steel piece of poop, which you can then throw into an industrial shredder, so it'll shred it up into a bunch of stupid pieces, which you can scoop up and sink to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, where we can nuke it from space. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I know that I didn't finish my 50 days of summer challenge, and then I ended with like 1 week left to go. I already made a video explaining that, but I haven't posted it yet because that's the thing. I haven't stopped filming videos for it. Like, I mean, it's over now, but I hadn't stopped filming videos for it. I just ran out of time and haven't edited anything. So I've got like a backlog of content ready to go on YouTube the moment I have time to actually sit down and edit it and put it on YouTube. So it's just kind of sitting on my camera waiting to go, which sucks. But I promise I will get to it. I had a bunch of people emailing me being like, you were so close, why didn't you finish? And like, it just, things got crazy. Work started and things just went crazy. Anyway, so that's why I haven't edited anything, but there's a lot of big stuff coming. Like, you remember towards the end, like we started a big project on our house, and actually I'm kind of crammed into my room in a weird, awkward way right now because there's still a bunch of stuff jammed into my studio because it can't fit in the living room. And anyway, you'll see it all very, very soon. As soon as we finish this big project and I have my studio back, I'll start, pumping out the content. You'll have a bunch. I don't know, do you think I should bother to keep doing the countdown of the days? Like, I filmed it with like, oh, this is 6 more days, 5 more days, but summer might be over by the time I get it up. Anyway, let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, as I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends about this channel, and I'll get new content out to you as soon as I can. So until then, keep being awesome. Today, we're watching videos from my personal YouTube account that I posted, some of them years and years before I had an actual YouTube channel. Most of them I posted before I had an actual YouTube channel. Some of them are private videos that are unlisted, that I made either to show somebody something or